In this video, we'll be looking at making the graph for your law of large numbers project. Alright, so on your spreadsheet you should have your list of your coin flips. It's either a head or a tail. Here I've just designated them by H's and T's. It doesn't matter what you call heads, tails, whatever you want to call them. The first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm just going to assign a value to this statement here. I'm going to call head 1, and here's the way you go about it. Excel can count a particular cell, and I just do it this way, equals, then I'm going to type in count if, alright, click on that. You'll see it says range and criteria. Well, I'm just going, my range is just going to be this single cell, alright, that cell there, and then comma, I'm going to count it if it is a head. And so now, since I've made head H, I'm just going to hit the quotation marks, then type an H in there. It put a 1 there. What it's saying is there was one H in that cell. Now I'm just going to simply drag this down. In order to fill, you just click on, you get on the bottom right hand corner of the cell, and then you click and drag that down. Click and drag, and it's going to assigns a 1 everywhere there's an H, and if it wasn't an H, it's 0 because there was no H's. So essentially all my heads get 1s and all my tails get 0s. It doesn't matter which one you call 1 or a 0. Alright, now I'm going to sum these values. Okay, so in this first cell I'm just typing in whatever this number is, in my case 1. Now in this second cell, I'm going to hit equals. I want to take this previous number, so I click on it, it says C1, plus I want this new one. So all it's doing is it took this previous number 1 and it added that to it too. Now I can click and drag and I'll describe what's going on here. Alright. This one's 2, alright? This one's 2 because this 2 plus this 0 is 2. This one is 3 because that 2 plus this 1 is 3. So what we've essentially done here is at this cell here, I have 16 ones. Well, that's 16 heads. 16 heads out of 31 total tosses so far. Alright. Now D column, I just want to count. I'm going to hit 1 here, and then I want this to be 2, so I can type equals this previous number plus 1. Alright, now I can drag this down. And this is just the number of trial. This is my first trial, this is my second trial, this is my third trial. Alright, now in my E column, I'm going to get my cumulative frequency. And my cumulative frequency is going to be this column divided by this column. So equals this C1 divided by D1. Alright, now I'm going to click and drag on down. What I've calculated in this column is the cumulative frequency of heads. Here I had one head out of 1, that's 100%. Here was another head, so out of my 2 tosses I've had 2 heads, that's still 100%. Well, this one was a tail, so now I've had 2 heads out of 3 total, so 2 divided by 3 is 0.667, 0.6 repeating. Here I had another head, so I had 3 out of 4, that's 0.75. So this final column is telling me the cumulative frequency. Now I'm ready to graph. I'm simply going to highlight these last 2 columns. This D column is my trial number, and this E column is the cumulative frequency. That is the percentage of heads. Simply click on this, and you'll see something that talks about formatting, totals, tables. You want charts. Your version of Excel may have this slightly different. You may need to go to Home and select Charts. The kind of chart we're going to make is a scatter. Alright. And here it is. This is the chart I'm looking at. This line is the cumulative frequency, and I'm interested in 50% over here. I'm going to come over here and let's add some labels. Axis titles. My Y title is my probability of heads. Probability of heads. And my X title is number of trial. And for yours, obviously, I've only did like 30 here, but yours will be all the way to 1,000. Okay. All right, now I'm going to change this axis over here. Axes, I can click on that. More options. And it came down here. Mine says from 0 to 35. Yours will be from 0 to 1,000. And your units here, perhaps counting by hundreds, will be a good thing to go by. I'm talking about my y-axis right now. Clicking on that. Good. All right. My minimum 0, my maximum is 1 because that's 100%. My axes, I want to count by 0.25. I want to key on this 0.5 here. And now I can see what I'm looking for. In the beginning, I had 100% heads, but then pretty quickly it started tending down toward this 0.5. And you can see as the further we go, the closer it gets to 0.5, and it'll stay that distance. It'll get the more we go, the closer we expect it to be to 0.5. This is the idea behind the law of large numbers. As we increase the number of trials, our probability will tend towards the expected probability, which in this case is 50%.